Hey, welcome to Nakama News. I'm your host Jordan. This is my co-host Jamie. We're gonna bring you the news today because we got a heck of a chapter. But first, if you're ever looking for a pawpaw fruit, it's the one that looks like a paw. Pro tip.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Also, are you thinking of organizing a mass killing event of an entire island? Well, don't. That's incredibly messed up. Don't do that.
This is Nakama News.
Nakama news, you'll see friendship when you view Nakama news. Well, everyone lends a helping hand or two. I'm glad you could stick around for a minute now. You're always welcome back. Nakama news.
Oh, howdy there, partner. You pirate? How's it going, sir?
Mate, had to deal on my bet here. We got ourselves 20 subscribers, and I decided to wear an eye patch. So,
And you whipped out the eye patch. I love
god
it.
dang right I did.
Give me a solid arg matey.
Arrgh, mate.
I love that.
Now, now we need some comments for something for Jamie to do
Yeah,
whenever we get 50 subs.
yeah, 50
Help me out
subscribers,
here.
and I got to do something silly next. My God. I love it. You look good in that. And I think that's important to say.
Well, thanks. I figured I could rock an eye patch, but I know I could do it this well.
Yeah, hopefully it stays on.
Yeah, it doesn't stay on that well, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
All right, cool. We have an insane chapter this week.
Yeah,
Insane.
we do.
So spoiler alert to those who haven't read it yet, but we're talking about chapter 1096 called Kumachi, which is kind
Kuma.
of that is basically Japanese for teddy bear, like small bear, kind of playing off of Kuma's name. We do have a cover page request again. They are continuing to be oddly specific. This one is Zoro is upset over losing a game of musical chairs to a pack of chihuahuas in a forest.
Yeah, I got nothing from this. I don't know if you did.
No, but I'll tell you what, it is really weird going from that to millions or like thousands of people running for their lives because they're about to get massacred on an island.
We have a very massive tone shift from the cover photo. So I don't know how many 10-year-olds are reading this. I hope not many,
I
because
know
this was a
this.
dark one.
Yeah, I saw a joke on Reddit or something. It was did you think Gear Fifth was too goofy? Well, Oda heard your concerns and gave some of the darkest shit you can ever imagine.
Man, this stuff makes the Hunger Games look like nothing. This is ramped up to the max.
Yeah, past that, we're at 120% darkness.
That's better. This isn't your average everyday darkness. This is advanced darkness.
Yeah, so we got Garland, who's starts well, not really starts off here, but they're explaining that there's like these super rare, and they call them rabbits.
Oh yeah, I broke this down. Let me break down the numbers of this massacre game, the
Okay,
rabbit
I'll let you
killing
take
game.
over.
Yeah. So we have 10,000 people on this island. That's confirmed later in the chapter. Um, of the 10,000 people, they're all deemed rabbits, and they're all worth some amount of points. There are 20 or 200 world nobles, celestial dragons, participating in the killing game of these rabbits. There are 13 special rabbits that are worth 10,000 points. This feels incredibly messed up because these are lives of people. Uh, so I feel like your life, Goldie, would be worth infinity points. Okay, infinity. There's also, I think, 150 unknown rabbits that are also rare and worth some amount of points as well. And yeah, Garland is talking some game before this starts. We do see some random world noble hunter people introduced. We don't get their actual names or anything, but there is a girl who's part of some family, and she's saying she's gonna win. And then there's a guy with kind of a cool looking mask.
Yeah, and he had a number 46 on it.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know either of those characters. I don't know what any of that means, but it's interesting.
And then there's a girl underneath him who doesn't say anything. Now, is that Shanks's mother?
That might be a stretch. No, in One Piece, this might not even be a girl, but it does look like one, and it's weird that they just randomly show her.
Yeah, I have no clue, but I am firmly on Shank's mom watch, trying to find like who's hiding the baby somewhere. Where's Shank's gonna be put in his chest?
Based on the context of the chapter, I'm gonna guess that all three of these people are just competitors to Garland. But
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes them God's Knights or if that makes them something else.
they strike me as people that Oda just put in there so that maybe he can bring them back as older adults when we have the eventual fight at Marie-Joie someday.
That would be
I don't
cool.
know.
I wonder if
So
40
yeah,
mask guy will still have his mask. Anyway,
yeah. So I mean, the Masker game incredibly messed up. Women and children are being hunted. This is one of the darkest things I've seen in a manga story yet.
You're so dark! The Ajena from the DC universe!
yeah, they're talking about just absolutely eliminating 10,000 people. I mean, I guess you could say Leloucia was just as bad. It's just they didn't go into details.
I know you didn't see like a bunch of women and children running away for their lives, So I don't know, man. Oda's really, is he okay? You think he's okay? Is he doing well? Is
Just
his
wants.
marriage good? Is he good? I'm not sure.
He's great at making people the most evil possible. That's for sure. He's got a heck of a mind.
He's a little too good at it. If you
It's
ask me.
scary sometimes.
Yeah. Then we go from that to Garp kind of. So we actually see Kong, who is the commander in chief of the world government navy. You never see this guy. Even though he's above Akainu. Yeah, but we see him in a flashback here. He's telling Garp he needs to get off his ass and go help out. And Garp's like on vacation.
Young Gart. That was funny.
What do you think of that? It sure seems like either Garp really does not care that people are dying, or maybe he doesn't know.
I mean, he's Luffy's grandpa, and so far we haven't had any indication that he's like a bad guy. So I gotta assume he doesn't know, because if he
Yeah,
knew, that would be a big character development for Garp. like,
yeah, I agree. My guess is he finds out about how messed, because they call it the field trip here. He's like, they're going on their little
yeah,
field trip.
they
So
refer
I'm
to it as
guessing he
a field
just
trip.
doesn't know what's happening. But he gets pretty dang excited when he finds out Roger's on his way.
Yeah, he should have started with that. That's all. That's all they had to say to get him to go.
Man, he really wants to beat Roger, which is weird because Roger's, other than idealistically being a pirate, he's not really been shown to be a bad guy at all. So
Yeah, I wonder if we'll get more background into their relationship in the
yeah,
future.
I
Like if
don't know.
they have just kind of a rivalry sort of thing, and the Garp got beat by Roger one time or something, and now it's like a smoker level obsession or something.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if it did start similar to Smoker and Luffy, but stayed like a closer fight. Obviously, Luffy's outclassed Smoker now,
Yeah,
which is sad. I kind of wanted Smoker to be a bigger deal, but
man, I've been rooting for since Smoker was like created as a character.
Smoker, I feel like he was a fan favorite when he was introduced, and yeah, it's just too bad he couldn't kind of keep up with the power creep. But maybe he'll awaken his fruit and be cool. Yeah,
Who knows?
I like how this became a little Smoker talk. This is
Rooting
good.
for a Smoker comeback.
Smoker fans, don't smoke, kids. And then they referenced that all the pirates are coming because of the jewel of Pirate Island, or Hachinosu, was stolen. So, any idea on what this jewel of Pirate Island could be?
Not a clue, man. The jewel of Pirate Island.
It
It's
could just
probably
be
not.
Kaido Devil Fruit.
Well, that was the thing. Is my first thought goes devil fruit, especially in this show. But
Mm-hmm.
um, could it be something else? I don't know what else it would be.
Yeah, some people were thinking it was maybe, everyone always throws out the same things for unknowns, and this one they were like, "Is it the giant egg on Roger's ship? Is that?" I have no clue. I don't know. It's
Would it
probably
be
just
the
a
only
devil.
other thing that came to my mind was like a road poneglyph or something like that.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't think a lot of the pirates seem to know a lot about poneglyphs. Because Roger kind of goes on his journey years later when he's an older guy with Odin.
Mm.
So yeah, but is it something from the ancient kingdom? Is it a weapon? Is it I don't know. Maybe it's your giant robot. You like that robot, Goldie.
Man, he's coming back. A few chapters.
You
4 more
love that
chapters.
robot. Chapter 1100. You're just waiting
Chapter
for it.
1100.
Yep. All right, all right. And then we get the chapter progresses to Ivankov and Ginny kind of explaining the plan. Uh, what'd you think of their plan?
Uh, well, we learned Ginny at like 10 years old, or what is she? Maybe 13, 14, I think we find out later. That she's a hacker and like a really good one.
Yeah,
She's
she's
hacking Den Mushies. So that was kind of cool.
I didn't know that was possible.
I
Maybe if you
didn't
just
either.
kind of tickle their bellies, they'll tell you anything. Yeah, I don't know.
She's wiretapping without wires. It was kind of awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So she really. They said that they needed some decoys so that they could go get, and they confirmed those were devil fruits in those boxes, and
Yeah, we got something right in our prediction
we
history.
got them right. I think a lot of people got that right, but we were like Kaido, Kuma. We said a couple others, but we did get those ones. We got them, and we still don't know what the other four would have been. But so they need decoys to distract while they get to the center of the island to get the devil fruit so that they can escape because they know that they have Kaidos there. Well, they don't know Kaidos, but they know they have the Zur one, the fish model Zur, which is the dragon fruit, and they know the pawpaw fruit's there too. So, uh, that's their plan. And she leaked this information, and now a bunch of pirates are coming and Garp's coming too. So kind of a good plan for some kids. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, got to give it to them. Like they were able to do something that's, I mean, the wiretapping is difficult enough, but then they were able to think about how to get help from other people, and they found out about devil fruits, and then they actually went and followed through on it. So that was impressive.
Yeah, definitely impressive. They, another kind of dark line from Oda where Ivankov is explaining what's going on, and he's telling the other slaves like there was no opportunity for you to win. Like they weren't going to let anybody live after 3 weeks. Everyone's going to die, and they're like, why? And they're like, he's like, because they want you to have false hope, because it's more fun to kill you when you have
If you're
hope.
running away, yeah. I mean,
That's messed
from
up.
their perspective, it makes sense, and then from a normal perspective, that's so messed up.
I hope Oda's getting therapy.
And then we got
Uh,
Kuma. I don't know if we talked about that. Did Kuma talk or volunteering to be a decoy while he's got an arrow and the target on his back?
oh yeah, no, that was.
Casually.
I didn't know if that was something they showed last week or not, but I did not catch that all the slaves had literal targets on their backs. Like no metaphor, just straight up target. And Kuma's got an arrow sticking in one of his.
9-year-old Kuma with an arrow in his back, just happily being like, "I'll be your decoy and probably die." Like,
Yeah, man, this chapter had a bunch of moments of Kuma just being an exceptional person. He was like, yeah, I'm a buccaneer. I can live a little bit longer than other people, so it makes sense for me to be a decoy.
I volunteer! I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute.
He
I
went
think
full
he's
on like Hunger Games.
yeah, he did. And I think these last two chapters combined have probably been the most Kuma speaking lines we've had in all of One Piece.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but oh my gosh, Oda's building him up so that when he gives up his life as an adult here,
Oh,
where
man.
yeah.
Oda flashbacks are notoriously just tragic, and I don't know if he can top himself from his past ones, but I bet he's going to try.
Yeah, I have no clue either.
Not
No,
ready for it.
they make a this is the second week in a row where we've gotten a reference to God Valley's natural resources.
Mm-hmm.
Kuma or Vonkov kind of says the government wants the resources, so they're killing everybody. Who knows what that is? Devil fruits, land, I don't know, volcanic ash.
Some kind of
Who knows?
power, or maybe it's just food.
Yeah, maybe
Or
it's probably
maybe they got the
something.
sea stone from there or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Too many things. I hope we find out what these resources are, though, because they brought it up too many times for it not to be important.
Yeah. Um, we're not going to find out next week, I'm guessing.
No, it doesn't seem like it, unfortunately.
So, okay. After the plan, the Rocks pirates show up, Goldie. They're
Yeah,
here.
dude, this was awesome. We got to see all of the Rock Spires for the first time. Well, maybe not all, but a lot of the Rock Spires for the first
Every Rocks pirate except for Rocks himself.
time. Except for Rocks.
Oh,
Of course.
okay. We should go through it a little bit. We
Yeah.
have, man, what do we all got here? We got Whitebeard. We know
Yep.
him.
Of course. We knew that one.
He says something. He says ahead. Don't go on ahead, Rocks. Or how does he say it? Don't rush ahead. And since when did I let you start calling me your subordinate or whatever?
An idiot like you start calling me your support or give
Yeah,
me orders.
give me order. That gives me Trafalgar Law vibes with Luffy, is what that is. Like
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it does feel like I mean, the crew calls Luffy an idiot a lot, and Luffy's always rushing ahead.
yeah,
Definitely
exactly.
some parallels there.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, right? Because Whitebeard's a respectable guy. We see some other respectable people here too. Would these people be following an evil person? And I don't necessarily think they would. Not
I
all
guess
of them.
why? I mean, what has made us think that Rox is evil in the first place? Is it just because he fought Roger, or is it because like
Um,
Kaido was following him?
I think it's a couple things. I think Blackbeard's obsession with rocks, like he named his ship after Rocks D. Zebek. I think it's the way that Sengoku told the story and how Oda drew him kind of as a menacing silhouetted figure. And then the fact that Roger fought him, and we always think of Roger as a protagonist. So they could have been friendly rivals, fighting for whatever. But yeah, very interesting D. Because right now he's kind of coming off as like a Luffy-esque captain, like a moron, adventure-seeking, kind of happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah, and then well, we got a lot more to go on with this crew because this crew
Yeah.
is really interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, there's characters in the background. I have no clue what's going on. The guy's got claws. There's some people with swords. I think Streusen from Big Mom arc is hiding behind one of those freaking like exclamation marks. That's at least what people were kind of saying. But the obvious ones are we see Miss Buckingham Stussy, not the clone, but the actual person who's Weevil's mom.
Weasel's mom,
Weevil's
the
mom.
crazy old lady.
Yep, and she's clinging to Whitebeard, and Whitebeard does not care at all. So, more evidence that Weevil is likely a failed clone than any actual love child. Uh, and I think the bigger surprise is the old lady from Amazon Lily, Gloriosa.
Yeah,
She's
Hancock
there, like,
moral voice here, and she's a lot bigger than she is right now.
yeah, yeah. Oda always loves making his old people nice, shriveled up people.
You go from like a normal 5 foot tall person, 6 foot tall person to being like 2 feet tall when you're when you're like 80. It's crazy.
So we know she was in fact the pirate empress of her generation. So it went her, Shaggy, unknown person, Boa Hancock. So and she said that she fell in love with somebody too and was kind of exiled. So I wonder if she fell in love with Zebek or maybe Whitebeard, but probably not Whitebeard.
I was gonna say, what if she's the one who is Whitebeard's love, and that's why Stussy never had? That would make
Oh
sense.
yeah, maybe. Whitebeard seems to not be a guy who cares about that kind of thing, no. But
Yeah, he always wanted a family, but not that kind of family.
I could almost see a parallel between Boa Hancock and Luffy, and if Zebek is kind of a Luffy-like figure, then a
Could
parallel
be.
between,
I could see it.
yeah, her and him. Maybe. That's the best guess I got. But we do see Big Mom in Prometheus. No Zeus, though.
Oh,
Which,
Zeus. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
yeah, it would be nice if we had Zeus there, because then we could literally just ask him, like, hey, man, what
Zeus, what
happened?
happened, dude?
Yeah, but as far as we know, Big Mom, Prometheus, they're burning up in lava or something right now. I don't know. And then the coolest one, too, Golden Lion Shiki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
So for
kind of
all
the,
of you who've seen the film, the Strong World film, Shiki that was a fun one. That was a fun
yeah, he abducts Nami and he makes islands float and he has swords for legs.
one.
How cool is that?
This guy, I wonder if he's gonna appear in the main story ever. I'm kind of rooting for it. I'm kind of rooting for Shiki to make an appearance.
He's appeared just now.
Well, this is a flashback. I'm in the current world.
Yeah, well, that'd be kind of cool if we saw him.
Well, I thought they always said that he was in prison. Like,
Yeah, good call. He might be in prison. Yeah, I don't know. We see Kaido. We know Kaido's there. He's got his big Konobo. I forget what that's called. Club.
I'm
And
breather.
then
Club.
Captain John.
Yeah, that one I didn't know. You could tell me about that one.
Yeah, that one's kind of like you had to know a lot. Like you had to know what Captain John Zombie looks like from Thriller Bark, and that he was part of the Rocks Pirates. So 99% sure that's Captain John. Shout out Buggy, and hopefully finds his treasure someday.
So many references. Gotta love that.
And then I don't know. There's like a fishman looking guy with some big lips and whatever. I
Yep.
wonder. I wonder if that's Wang Ji,
Wait.
the the mastermind of the Rocky Port incident. Uh, but I'm not sure. No clue who that guy is.
There's a lot of characters. Some we know a lot about, and some we know very little about. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Everyone we don't know, you want to know more about.
And then there is the gladiator helmet guy, who we don't know who that is.
Not a clue.
And then
Most
below him was a kind of a silhouetted, smiling, like figure with a hat on.
Mm-hmm.
That guy looked creepy, cool. I don't think that's Zebek though, because as far as I could tell, he went on ahead. But maybe they're showing him in the bottom panel, like that's him off in the distance. I don't know.
I'd be surprised if that was Rocks, but it's so interesting that he's just showing these characters that we've never seen before, and just leaving. Like,
Yeah.
oh gosh,
What an interesting assortment of people, though. I mean, crazy.
yeah,
So much power there. So much like future potential.
very different personalities, very different goals.
It almost brings more weight to when Saturn kind of called out Luffy's crew for working so well together, because maybe he saw Rox's crew and was like, "This is pure dysfunction."
Yeah, I mean, the only way that could work is if Rocks is also similar to Luffy, where Luffy is kind of the only thing that ties his whole crew together. Without Luffy, they aren't really a thing. But if Rocks is the same way, and then something happens to Rocks, I guess you could see how things go wrong.
Yeah, but Luffy's like the Straw Hats obviously care about each other more than the Rocks pirates do, at least based off what we
Yeah,
see.
does
So
seem like that.
it does seem like Luffy's brought together a more family kind of friendly group. But yeah, definitely some parallels. Interesting to compare. Hopefully we get to see more.
Agreed.
Let's see here. So he shows up. Oh, we also see the flag. Rocksteady's the big
Yeah,
flag. What does that look like? I feel like you can sometimes get a little bit of information about somebody from their flag.
well, it's pretty basic, except for it's just Rock spelled out, but the O is a skull, To me, that looks like it's on fire,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if you got any ideas?
Yeah, fire looks likely. It almost looked like a meteor to me or something as well. That's the only other thing I can think of,
The
unless
only
it's
other
like
thing I got is if Rox's hair looks like that or something.
yeah, yeah, true. We've only seen silhouetted Rox's hair, and we know we can't trust Oda's silhouettes.
Yeah, no
So
kidding.
maybe he's got kind of flowing hair like Nika or something like that, but not sure. Kind of cool though. I like the
It
design.
is
I think it's a cool design.
simple, but it's good. Definitely. I don't know. Did you think of it? Did you see anything else on there, like on the ship or anything that you noticed? I'm not sure. I was trying to figure out what their mass was or the figurehead.
Oh, the figurehead. No, I really couldn't. It was too like far away. Like I couldn't make it out.
Yeah,
I
I
could.
can't. I really can't either. It almost looks like another skull on the front, though.
Yeah, I'll get my microscope out and look at it later. The
Oh, I hope we get more rocks soon. I doubt it, but it'll probably be another 100 chapters.
if we're that lucky, yeah. So then Roger pirates show up and then Garp shows up. So it's kind of cool. I feel like it's a young Roger. He doesn't even have a mustache. He's got a straw hat still because obviously Shanks is a baby. So that's kind of cool. And then Garp shows up. He's got a hockey fist going already. He's ready to fight. And we see Bogard, our boy, in the corner. Always good to see a Bogard. Yeah.
Oh gosh. And hey, I was kind of right. I was a little bit right when I said that Rogers would show up and Garp would be chasing him. Not completely the same, but kind of close.
We
Just
will
saying.
give you points. Yeah, you did. You were cooking. Yeah, we did say like they would possibly be chasing Rocks there, and Rocks would maybe want the devil fruit. We at some point in our last video, we said all of those words.
Man, we could go edit that out and show us some proof. It's a lot of work though.
Yeah, I'm not that good at editing. I don't know.
Well, you'll just have to go back and look.
Trust me, bro. Just
Trust me.
trust us, bro. Um, and then so all this distractions going on. You have Roger, you have Rocks, Pirates, you have Garp. You got the Celestial Dragons kind of fighting. You also, during this, Garling kind of takes over and says, "I'm going to be the one to, protect people now. We're the God's Knights or whatever." So we get kind of a God's Knights panel,
Yeah,
and
like a preview almost.
you see a guy with a really creepy skull mask in the background, and then you see kind of like some random hot chick that's part of the group too. So I
It looks
wonder if those will be people in the God's Knights in the present day too. I'm not sure.
they're all going to be as old as Garland, but I guess being old doesn't mean anything in One Piece when it comes to how strong you are. So
True, yeah. And we just saw Garp punch a whole island. So
the bullhead guy is crazy looking. I don't know. The God's Knights are going to be fun as we meet them, and it will be interesting to see how many of them, how many more of them are actually still around from way back when.
yeah, it is interesting to see how many of these characters in general that Oda's shown us now will pop up in the future again.
Yeah, he's just throwing another like 15 chess pieces on the board for himself for later. Oda's nuts.
He's got an addiction to drawing new characters, and he needs to be stopped. So Kuma and Ivankov get to the fruits, and they're shown holding Kaido's devil fruit, the dragon fruit, and the pawpaw fruit, Kuma's fruit. It was kind of funny watching them like unsure of which one was which when one was obviously shaped like a paw, and the other one has blue dragon scales. So
Yeah, which one is it? You know, Oda's just doing that on purpose, but that's so funny.
yeah, just a little bit. And then Big Mom comes in, kind of chokes Ivankov and takes Kaido's fruit. So we know that she does give Kaido the fruit here on the island. So it's cool to see that actual moment kind of start.
Mm-hmm.
And then meanwhile, Kuma like downs his fruit quick before she goes at him. So he gets his powers right there too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of devil fruits in One Piece. There's
There's not a lot in person. You could probably count them on both your hands.
yeah, probably. No, I mean, yeah, it's just CP0, that random smoke monster from Punk Hazard, Luffy and Law, maybe some other ones.
Ace's fruit.
Ace's fruit, good call. Yeah. Oh, shout out to Roger. Looked like an older version of Ace. You know?
Yeah, interesting. But
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like we are questioning the parentage here, but then we get this kind of Kuma versus Saturn. So you and I both kind of were like, we forgot Saturn was there because it was kind of he was only there for like a chat, like a panel last chapter, with looking old and stuff. But
Mhm.
he's there. He has kind of a menacing conversation with Kuma, kind of some of that dark celestial dragon stuff, where he's like, "You were just born to be a slave. You aren't. Your life is worth nothing." And Kuma stands up to him. He kind of talks back. Good for Kuma, I thought. He says, "What's the point of being born if you're just going to be a slave?" Kind of we should aspire to being more, and he's gonna save as many people as possible, just like his boy Nika.
Yeah, he brings up Nika
And
again.
Saturn does not like that.
And then just to backtrack one quick second, when Saturn shows up, it looks like he punches him. But you think that was
Yeah,
a punch?
it looked like a punch.
Or
You kind of saw the arm. Yeah,
yeah, you kind of see an arm. It just comes out of nowhere and socks him in the face. And so Kuma's saying this as he's like bloody in the face and down on the
yeah.
ground.
And
Like poor
Kuma,
dude.
little Kuma's got some cojones. I respect
This
him.
9-year-old Kuma, he gets punched in the face by the world government's like top leader and gets called a
Yeah,
slave forever. And then he's just
yeah.
like, "Oh, screw you, old
He's
man."
been enslaved since he was a baby. His parents like basically died right in front of him. His dad literally did. He got punched by a possible demon, and he's talking back to him. Kuma's the man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Kuma's he's showing some grit and some character here at 9 years old. So he's
But
gonna do some stuff.
Saturn did not like Kuma saying he wants to save people like Nika. Because then he
Yeah,
said something like, "Well, that's the problem with you Buccaneer people, and that's why you're all good. That's why you're all been killed."
you think
As
it's the save people part that triggered him, or the Nika part?
both, but I still am a believer. There's a heavy connection here between Joy Boy and the Buccaneer people, and to me, it's more evidence that Joy Boy was likely a Buccaneer, uh, and that's why all the Buccaneers are being hunted down. Or you are more on the side of the Buccaneers were maybe just a race of people that were protected by Joy Boy in some way. It could be
Yeah, I
both.
mean,
It could be
I could
both.
see either way, but I would still think it's the giant straw hat. That's the biggest evidence for me of the Buccaneer thing. But beyond of that, I could see it just being another group of people that Nika saved in some point in the past. It's always interesting to me that they say Nika though, and not Joy Boy.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah. Um, we've talked about this before, so I don't
Yeah,
even
go watch another video. Go watch our other videos on this. But
yeah, I'm still it's confusing, right? And then let's see here. We kind of get a time skip. It goes from that to Kuma, Ivankov, and Ginny are safe on a different island somewhere.
yeah, it's just that's all we get. Oda's like, here's your glimpse of this awesome thing. Now we're going away.
Yeah. We do right before it cuts away though, we see kind of some speech bubbles from Roger and Zebek kind of being competitive with each other. Like, hey, get out of my way, Roger, or like, they're like kind of
Mm-hmm.
fighting. So in the fact we haven't gotten to see Zebek's face tells me we're gonna go back there and see what happens
Oh, yeah. At some point, we will go back here. It might be
we
200 chapters from now. We'll go back.
You just keep increasing it. It might be 300 chapters from now.
Hey man, I put nothing past Oda at this point. I gotta keep my expectations low, or
Yeah,
I'm gonna be disappointed.
100%. Yeah, so you might as well just round it to an even 500, maybe.
Yeah, chapter
By the,
1500, we're coming back, calling it now.
oh my god, we get the fake news Morgan's kind of talk. Yeah, they kind of point out that Morgan's gave all the credit to Garp, even though Kuma's the one that saved 500 people. So
Man, so Garp the hero might be a little overrated, huh?
yeah, kind of like it reminds me when the Straw Hats run Alabasta and they help save Alabasta, and Smoker took all of the, they gave Smoker all the credit.
Oh, you're that smoky guy. What are you doing in Alabasta?
Yeah, well, didn't Smoker turn that down though? That's kind of the cool part about Smoker.
He said he was going to turn it down, but I don't think he could, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if they allowed him to, but he did say he had some choice words at the time.
He was not happy about it, and that was kind of the start of Smoker's, I don't know, questioning the government and the justice that he was protecting. And then he kind of goes on to do G7 or whatever. But shout out Smoker again, man.
Dude, Smoker. That's
Wow.
part of what made me a Smoker fan to begin with.
We didn't talk about Smoker at all before this, and all of a sudden, boom, Smoker. Never know what's going to happen. So yeah, I think definitely, Morgan's is doing a lot. There was some theorists who thought Big News Morgan's used to be a Rocks pirate or used to be a Roger pirate or something. I don't think he is, because he
Yeah,
used to be doing newsy stuff.
I wonder how old this guy is, and how old do bird newscasters live?
I don't know. But he's got to be pretty dang old. Good call, yeah. Yeah, because
he never really. I didn't think he was going to be alive 40 years ago when I first saw him. He didn't look that old to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, he didn't have very many wrinkles in his feathers, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where are the gray feathers?
Well, let's. You get out of here. I can't take you serious with your damn eye patch and your bandana.
You try reading and looking at stuff with one eye for an hour.
No. Ivankov leaves. Kuma and Ginny are just by themselves. And kind of a sad, kind of touching moment. Kuma says to Ivankov, "I'll never forget your face." And we know the next time they meet, at least that we've seen, is Marineford, and Kuma forgot his face, did not remember his face.
And that really makes that scene hit harder because you can just. I could still hear Ivankov being like that. You forgot my face. How could you? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, Ivankov doesn't get serious very often, and like it was even at the time, it was hard to tell like if Ivankov was just being his overdramatic self. But you could tell that this makes that moment hit harder.
Yeah, it's sad.
But
Sad
before
stuff.
that, I don't know if we just talked about this, but they were in a church. We got more. There's a lot of Kuma religious references going on in this story.
Yeah. Kuma's always been shown to be like shining in light. Like when you find him at Sabaody protecting the ship, he was sitting in a light beam. When Dragon and the Revolutionary Army saved him, he was like sitting in light. And here he's praying in some light in the church again. So sun god Nika, I don't know.
Yeah, he's the hero is a god. He carries around a Bible. I don't know what it all means, but there's a lot of them. It means something.
They're motifs and they mean something. Yeah. So Ginny and Kuma kind of work together to make money, get food and whatever. Kuma gets bullied a little bit by some random kids. Ginny beats him up. Then Kuma takes their pain away. Doesn't give it to Zoro this time.
Yeah. Dang.
And fun fact, those kids kind of look like Bonnie's pirate crew in the future. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. And then yeah, Kuma's just a sweet guy. I don't know. They're really
Lots of
building this
wholesome
up.
moments.
That moment when they eat all the food and get full, and then they both cry because it's like their first taste of freedom. Again, sad.
Time being full, man. Yeah, they are really setting us up to care before Oda just destroys rips our hearts out again.
Yep. Because we know what's happening. There's
We
no
know
way
how
Ginny's
undefeated
alive.
flashbacks work at this point.
Yep. Kuma's about to die in chapter 1100. And Ginny
Kuma's about to die.
is definitely dead already because she's suffering from flashback woman syndrome. So
Doesn't look good for either of the characters, not gonna lie.
also let's just point out 500 people saved by Kuma, 10,000 people on that island.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about that too. I don't know how many were made it out, and that's just like there was also pirates, and there was marines, and there was celestial dragons, and then there was the 10,000 citizens, and only 500 got out.
Yeah, just imagine. First off, okay, so the death rate is very high. I don't want to forget about that. But picturing Kuma just pawing people random directions, like as fast as he can.
Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just. Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you alright? How did
Larry!
Sounds
He's 9-year-old Kuma who just got a devil fruit, and it's like
just flinging people into the red wall and stuff, like, my God. I'm
yeah, how
sure
many
they
people did Kuma
survived.
try to save that just like got blasted to the moon or something?
Oh, and when they said his hands were the hands of liberation or whatever, earlier in the chapter, that was also a cool moment.
Yeah, that was Yvonne. Yvonne said he has the hands of liberation, which, man, lots of references, lots of cool.
Man, what a wild, sad, crazy chapter.
So do we come back to Ginny and Kuma next chapter, or are we going back to Luffy?
This, man, really good question. I feel like we're building up to Kuma. I feel like we got to get Ginny's death yet. So maybe it's going to be a little time skip, still a flashback, but when they're a little bit older. And maybe we'll see how Bonnie came to be. Is maybe my guess. Maybe we see a little baby Bonnie, or
It'd be cool.
yeah, something like
I
that.
think it's cool as God Valley, but it'll be cool.
Yeah, well, we're still missing half of God Valley. We don't know
jeez,
what they were fighting over, really. We don't know who got out with what. Yeah, hopefully we get that sometime soon.
500 chapters.
Chapter 1600, we'll see you there. Goldie might actually have lost an eye by then.
Very possible. Our path will be much better at that point.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Do you have any thoughts for next week, or hopes or dreams?
Not sure, because it just seems like we're going to find out the rest of this story, and we kind of already have a pretty good idea about it. So I hope we make it out with our hearts and minds still intact.
I would be happy with one of those two. Yeah. All
right. Thanks, guys, for coming and watching us at the end. If you're here, check us out. We're at the Nakama News over on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. We'll see you guys next week. This is Nakama News. You guys have a great day.
Glad you could stick around for a minute now. You're always welcome back. Nakama News.